All right, guys. So this stuff here opens eyes to a lot of people. So just bear with me here. Okay, so let's say you're renting right now for about $2,000 a month, and you are saying to me that you want to save while you're renting. Let's say you're able to put away about $1,000 a month, and you're planning to save for 5 years so that you can get to a 20% down payment. Now, the question is, do you have any money saved today? Is your credit score good? And do you have anywhere between 30 and 50K in savings? If you answered yes to these, we can proceed and have this conversation further. So if we're looking at a property that you're renting right now for $2,000, an equivalent of that in resale value would probably be around 600K, which is why I put that in here. Your annual property taxes are about $2,000. Condo fees for the unit would be about $400. Okay, so we need this to calculate our costs down the line. The price appreciation, we have to assume, so we'll assume 5% per year price appreciation for the market. The historical Toronto rate is 7%. That is calculated over the last 60 years, so that's a pretty safe number. And we're bringing that down a little bit here just to be safe. Now, the minimum down payment you would need for a $600,000 property is $35,000, which comes out to being 5.83% approximately. A lot of people don't know this, but you do not need 20% to get into the market. Now, if your future target to get to 20% is that's totally cool. We're going to take a look at that in a second. Are you a first-time buyer? Yes. Are you planning to buy in Toronto? Sure. The current interest rates for the mortgage are anywhere between 1.35 to like 1.5 for variable rates and 2 or a little bit more for fixed rates. So we're going to go with this number here. And here are our calculations. All right. So if you're buying today, your purchase price is $600K. You need $35,000 down payment to get started. You would have to get a mortgage insurance because it's a high ratio mortgage, which is what people are trying to avoid when they try to get to 20%. And that's the number right here. It's $22,000 for this purchase price. But that gets built into your mortgage. Okay, so you don't need to have that cash up front. And $22,000 a month, $22,000 of loan will probably run you about $80 a month in carrying costs. All right, so let's carry on. Your closing costs are, here's your land transfer tax, $85 for Ontario, $85 for Toronto. There's a rebate for first-time buyers, so your overall land transfer tax is $8,500. Lawyer fees are anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500. We put just under $2,000 here. And you would need to pay taxes, PST, on your mortgage insurance. So the mortgage insurance is right here. You don't need to pay that up front. It gets built into your mortgage, but the tax on it is the cash that you need to have. So your total amount of cash that you would need, including your down payment with the closing costs, upfront is $47,000 in this example. Okay. Now let's go on to your carrying costs. The carrying costs would be just under $3,000, $2,917 with this example. All right. Now let's look at the comparable. If you were to wait and save $1,000 a month for the next 5 years, you'd save about $60,000. If you already had this 47 that we're talking about here, you would need, actually, let's backtrack for a second. Given the fact that the market doesn't stay still and there is an appreciation, and we've assuming for 5%, the $600,000 entry property in 5 years would likely increase by this much. That's what a 5% increase a year looks like on this type of a property. So you're looking at a $165,000 increase, which is not unreasonable in Toronto. And now this entry level property is quite a bit more expensive. So your down payment for a 20% required is $153,000. So you would need $118,000 extra to get to that 20% mark. Okay. Now, even with this 20% down payment, your mortgage amount is still higher. All right. Now, the closing costs are calculated based on your purchase price. So now your land transfer tax is higher. Your lawyer fees, there's a portion there called title insurance, also is based on your purchase price. That's higher. So now your lawyer fees are higher. But you do not have the taxes on your CMHC premium because you're avoiding that expense here. Okay. So now when we're looking at the total carrying costs, you're looking at $100 a month more to carry this property. Okay. So when you look at it from that perspective, you really start to realize that it might not be such a great idea. Now let's talk about the opportunity cost to delay, because that's my favorite part. All right. So the price appreciation earned on a condo that you would have had if you were to buy today with a minimum down would be $165,000. The principal of your loan that you would have paid down is just under $57,000. You would have saved $120,000 on renting, and that is if your rental fees don't increase, which, as we all know, they do once a year. The land transfer tax that you're saving is $6,600. Yes, you would save you are saving on the CMHC if you wait, and your total ownership obligation is higher than, of course, your renting. But if you add up all these numbers together, including these two negative numbers over here, your total opportunity cost of delaying is still $151,000. Okay. And if we look back over here, if you're renting for $2,000 and you're putting away $2,000 right here, and you're putting away $1,000 a month on your future savings for this purchase, you're still spending $3,000 a month on your housing needs. So this $3,000 could get you this principal pay down and price appreciation that you're missing out on otherwise. Okay, so in summary, the total amount that you'd need to purchase today is $47,204. The total cost on a monthly basis to carry your own property is $29,717. Waiting 5 years to save an extra 14% for your down payment will cost you $151,000. Or you can rent, spend $120,000 for somebody else's mortgage. You can try and save $1,000 a month while paying $2,000 for rent, for a true total monthly cost of $3,000, like we mentioned earlier. And you can invest your current savings of $34,980, your potential 5.83% down payment, into a high interest savings account and earn 1.3% interest, which will earn you $2,000. So I hope this gives you a good visual, and I hope this was helpful.